are they going to take him, do you think?
It sounds like it, probably. Yeah. They sound like a really good fit. They're like partially retired.
Oh, good.
They're technically retired, but they do piano lessons.
That's cool.
Yeah, and then I guess they live by a beach because they said they go to the beach almost every day.
Oh, no shit.
And then they want to
That sounds perfect.
take him everywhere.
That sounds perfect for him.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. I think that a semi-retired couple is actually really...
No, it's just a lady.
Oh, it's just a lady?
Yeah.
I think a semi-retired anybody,
Yeah,
lady, dude, couple, whatever.
Yeah, she has a boyfriend, but she originally was going to come over this weekend, but then she called Craven back and was like, can I come tonight? And then now it might be tomorrow. I don't know. But she sounds like she's pretty locked in. So
Good.
Yeah.
Good. I hope that he finds a happy home with her because he is a very sweet dog.
He is. He's a good boy.
It was a rough decision for us to say that we weren't going to take him. There's a lot to love about him, but he just didn't slot in well here. It's a good dog. Welcome, everybody, to Streaming Screams. I am Glenn. I'm here with Jessica.
Hello.
And we are going to talk about some horror. And in particular, today, we are talking about Until Dawn. Released in 2025 and written by Blair Butler and Gary Dauberman, directed by David F. Sandberg, starring Ella Rubin as Clover, a girl who's searching for her missing sister. She is grieving and suffers from depression, having already had multiple failed suicide attempts, and is emotionally distant even though she is also brave and determined to find her sister no matter what. Ji Young Yu as Megan, Max's stepsister. She is a self-proclaimed psychic, and the group does not believe her at first, but as the film goes on, they seem to come around. Michael Cimino as Max, Clover's ex-boyfriend. He still has feelings for her, but is not a creep about it. He is also Megan's stepbrother, though the fact that their parents' relationship started as an affair is uncomfortable for them. They get along well and are clearly friends.
Which is a weird, point to bring up because you don't really get to know much about any of these characters. So
they're fairly one-dimensional.
There's no relevance to this.
Yeah.
So it's just a weird
It does feel like there was some sequel bait at the end, which I know looks like it's supposed to lead into the game. But I wonder if there are plans to make a bigger thing out of this.
This did not do well, so probably not.
I mean, it's not great.
It's not great, and it barely has anything to do with the game.
Apparently it has nothing to do with the game other than Wendigo.
No, the guy.
Oh,
the
right.
Doctor.
The doctor is involved in both. But I mean, it doesn't make sense because spoiler alert, he dies in this one. And the ending seems to be setting up the video game.
Well, that wouldn't matter because he's the figment of someone's imagination in the game.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. But the director also said this is supposed to be a sequel to the game, not a prequel. So I don't know.
Well,
man.
he is wrong.
I
mean, I don't even know why they bothered trying to tie these together. They are so clearly different in every regard, except for the creature design of the Wendigo and the slasher villain.
Yeah, but the slasher villain doesn't also make sense to be in this based on the plot of the game.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Nothing about this
There's no time loop in the game.
No. After watching this movie, I actually got some interest in the game because, not that it was a good movie, but I was like, oh, so I'm guessing the game is like a roguelike survival horror?
No.
I wonder how that works. And then, so I looked up the game, and it was no, there's no time loop. The Wendigos aren't created by just suffering.
Yeah. The Wendigos are way more explained in the game. I haven't played the game. My son Lucian did. I am kind of curious about playing it, but it's not really my style of game because it's
kind of Dragon Slayer-y, isn't it? It's mostly just making decisions and quick time events.
Yeah, it's a movie where you have you choose options.
Yeah, it's a choose your own adventure movie.
Yeah. So the only thing that would be kind of a time loop is that there's a lot of incentive to replay the game to get different options, because everything you do has an effect.
I have a
So that would be the only thing is that you're intended to play through the game multiple times.
Yeah, after looking into the game and the differences between the game and the movie, I was wondering if the director just only has sort of a vague idea of what a video game is and basically base the whole time loop after the idea of game over and continue.
Well, no, he just said that, like, because I saw like a short interview with them, and he was like, well, it wouldn't make sense to just adapt the game because the game essentially is a movie and it's 10 hours. So you would just be making the same thing, but cutting like hella stuff out. And he's like, so it wouldn't make sense to just adapt the game, which I get.
Sure, I just don't understand where this time loop thing came from. Unless it was like some meta deal where like video games are like a time loop, which sure they are, but just in the game over and continue sense. But still, I
don't know.
It's really funny because after the first time I watched this, we get into our whole thing about, who we recommend the movie for.
Yeah.
And I initially wrote like, I guess if you're like a big fan of, the games, and then I looked into the game and now I'm like, well, certainly not if you're a fan of the game.
Yeah, because this movie was just in theaters, like, as of recording this last month.
Yeah.
And it like, was only in there for a couple of weeks and then went to streaming because it did terribly.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's one of those movies, like, who's this movie for? Because it's not for fans of the game.
It's certainly not. Yeah. And all right, well, we will come back to this.
Yeah. We haven't even got through the cast.
Yeah, right. Okay, so I love that we made it.
Well, I was just saying that.
I love that we made it through 3 characters before we like diverged into just like, so what the fuck was going on here?
Well, because I was just saying that it's weird that they have this like detail about the stepbrother and sister's family dynamic. Yeah, none of these people really have like.
They're all kind of flat.
They're not even like tropes. They're just people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're just characters that are there.
Yeah, yeah. There's like a little bit of character development. There's like some character development with Clover. Funny enough, I think Megan is the one that they did the best job with. Even then, she's not supposed to be a super well-rounded character. She just sort of seems like the only one who's, I don't know.
Yeah.
She has a charm that the others don't.
Right.
I guess would be the best way to say it. Odessa Azion as Nina, Clover's best friend. She's one of these people who tends to be harsh and abrasive, but her friends know she's not trying to be hurtful. We've got Belmont Camelli as Abe, Nina's boyfriend. He's new to the group and doesn't have a strong of a relationship with them. Personally, I think he's kind of a dick, and I can't imagine this group tolerating him for that long. Maya Mitchell as Melanie, Clover's older sister who is missing. We know that she's beloved by Clover, and we know that she planned to move to New York after their mom died, but beyond that, we don't really see that much of her personality. And finally, Peter Stormare as Dr. Hill, an intelligent psychologist who uses scientific curiosity as a disguise for his sadistic cruelty. You look like you've got things to say.
Well, it's just none of the... Where did this time loop come from?
Yeah, dude, okay, this fucking movie... I've said it to you a bunch of times, and I know I've said it at least a couple times on the podcast here. In my opinion, there is nothing that drains a horror movie of its scare factor faster than explaining everything.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and say that this movie actually needed a lot more of it anyway.
Sure.
Nothing that's going on makes sense.
Yeah.
It is just... It is wild. And again, I don't know, like, did the director ever even bother to play the game? All right. We start with Melanie digging herself out of the ground while being chased by some creature, which we later find out is a Wendigo, before coming face to face with a slasher type of villain wearing what looks like a porcelain mask that could be a skull or a clown, maybe a combination of both, and he takes her out with a pickaxe. 1 year later, our group drives to a remote gas station. We find that they are looking for Clover's sister Melanie, and it seems like they've been at this for a while as they are all road weary, and this will be their last attempt to find her. It appears that around the time she disappeared, she sent Clover a video recording from in front of this very gas station. And here we get like the first of many tropes and cliches that this movie, I feel like, kind of relies on.
Yeah.
We get the gas station, we get the doomsayer, kind of get like Chekhov's creepy guy.
Yeah.
You also get like this trope, and I don't know if there's a name for it, but this thing where they all gather around and they're having like a moment trying to do like a psychic connection thing because Melanie's all psychic and everyone's just sort of placating her.
Yeah.
And things start to feel tense, and then they get honked at by a car, and it's a big jump scare.
Sure.
Just another dumb trope. We've seen it a million times. Funny enough, this is my immediate reaction to this was that I really liked Megan, though, just because she has this like we mentioned, she has this charm nobody else has.
Sure.
I don't know what it was. There's this one moment where she's trying to get everybody to close their eyes for the circle. And as soon as they do, she like smiles and like moves her head in this really excited, like, all right, we're going to do this kind of way. And I really started liking her character immediately. Just, I don't know, something about the body language that she chose for that take really endeared her to me, which is good because none of the other characters at any point endear me to them.
Yeah.
So Clover goes in and talks to the gas station attendant, who points her towards the nearby town of Glore Valley, where people seem to go missing fairly regularly. We cut to the group driving in a severe rainstorm. Everyone is terrified of the storm and wants to turn around again, but Abe won't.
Yeah, it seems like how many times have they turned around and then turned back around?
Yeah, I don't know.
Just once, and I would be like, "What are we doing, guys?"
Yeah, well, okay. So he said that they turned around twice.
No, I'm just saying. I'd be like, "No,
no, absolutely not."
No,
like, okay, I get it. You're scared of the rainstorm. Are you just going to drive back and forth?
We're just staying in it for longer.
In the thing that you're scared of?
If anything, just like pull over for a little bit.
Yeah, or you know what? If I'm Abe, and this is like the only time that I really, really agreed with him, I think. If I'm Abe and they get me to turn around once, we're going back to the town, we're getting a hotel room. That's it.
Yeah.
And we can come out tomorrow when the rain is done.
Sure.
I'm not turning around, then turning back around, then turning around again.
No. I would very quickly be like, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah. Either go back or don't. And the group just drives me nuts at some points. And this is one of them. Don't make me agree with the asshole here.
But this is another thing, is like, why did they even make this like a point in the movie?
I have no idea. I don't remember what he said here, but Abe was actually fairly funny in this scene. There was something smartass that he said that I did appreciate, but I can't remember what it is. So eventually, we're actually right as the argument is getting superheated, they burst basically out of the rain and into an area with a visitor center and what looks like a single grave. The sky in a circle above this area is completely clear, and there's basically a wall of rain surrounding the, quote, town.
I was going to say, I didn't find the grave to be weird.
I didn't either.
I was like, it's probably an animal. That's what I would assume.
Or, you know
Not that there's just a random person buried there.
Even if there was a random person buried there, there was no town. There's just this visitor center that looks like a house.
Yeah.
You know, like, yes, we find out that there is a town later, but as of right now, I would just assume that, like, someone was living there and their spouse died, and so they just buried him over there.
Yeah,
or, maybe
a visitor center, that'd be weird.
Maybe a pet. I get that, but this is one of those, as far as you can tell, one of those towns with a population of, like, 3.
Yeah, but they just act like it's a really big deal, and I'm like, I would assume it's an animal.
Yeah. We do, however, get a really good indication here that Megan actually is psychic, because as soon as they stop the car, she gets out and throws up.
I didn't think anything of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because people get car sick all the fucking time.
Yes, but it being Megan specifically gets car sick and then says that she's feeling some really bad juju off this place.
Yeah.
Wait, is that a bad term to use?
Oh, it might be. I don't know.
Okay, note to look that up later. She's getting a really bad vibe off of this place. To me, like, I took her throwing up as, like, she actually is getting hit with this
I'm sure that's what it meant.
Energy.
I'm just saying I didn't register it.
Yeah. All of this is kind of ominous and weird, but it's time to do some exploring. Nina, Abe, and Megan go and check out the visitor center, where Nina finds an hourglass in a clock-like device on the wall, and a guest book with Melanie's name repeated a bunch of times, getting messier every time. Same with a number of the other names that they find in the book. It's repeated a bunch of times, always getting messier. Abe also finds a wall of missing posters that all feature faces but no names or information. And Clover thinks that she sees Melanie in the rain, so she runs back in with Max following. Yeah. And this leads us to night 1. Nina writes her name in the guest book.
Which why? Again, I just like, would you automatically do that?
Because I could see myself doing that. I've put my name in guest books in places before.
Yeah, Because, like, you're, like, purposely staying there, not, like, an abandoned place. You think you find a guest book in, like, an abandoned, creepy place that is, like, the last known place of your sister who's been missing for over a year, and you're going to be like, yeah, let's write my name in here.
You know what? Actually, I probably would. And I would probably do that as some sort of, like, weird, sentimental, like...
Be like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Like... Well, you know, because I do have that sentimental tendency myself, so I probably would be like, well, we're here and this is the end of our search, so I am going to mark my name in the guest book.
Sure.
But what if she comes back and looks in that guest book? You know, she'll see our names there. Either way.
All right.
Yeah. As far as the movie, though, this is the mechanism that locks them in.
I know, but you know, if they're like you.
Which, oddly enough, Nina does not strike me as the type of person to be like that. Nina is much more, I don't know, practical and kind of harsh.
Maybe it compels you.
There is always that possibility because they are, you know, once you're in that circle of rain, you're definitely under some kind of influence.
Yeah.
Hence Megan losing her lunch, you know.
Yeah,
Nina writes her name in the guest book. At the same time, Alex seems to pull Clover back into the town, which I find really weird because it looks like she runs really fucking far in there and he goes running in after her. So I don't know how it is that he just like grabs her and suddenly they're back there and neither of them say anything about it. But again, might just be the influence of the town here. At the same time, what's her bucket? Megan. You know, the one character that I liked. Megan goes and inspects the bathroom and wipes some dirt off the mirror. And the only reason I'm bringing these things up is because at the beginning of every night, this is the respawn point.
Yeah.
So the group sees that somebody has taken Abe's car and is basically threatening them with it, effectively trapping them inside of the visitor center. Clover, Max, and Megan go down to the basement, which oddly has windows, and where they also find a radio. Nina and Abe get separated, and she finds him cut in half by the slasher villain. This masked slasher guy then hunts them all down one by one in pretty rapid succession, and the last one to get it is Clover, who tries to run to the woods, but she is distracted when she sees Melanie again and gets a pickaxe to her back. I did really like the kills here. In particular, who is it gets stabbed in the eye? Was that Abe or no? Abe gets a pickaxe. The other guy, Matt. Alex. So Alex gets stabbed in the eye with a really large knife or a stake of wood or something. And when the slasher pulls it back out, like the front part, like his retina and cornea are just like sitting there on the top of it, and it's so gross. And me and my eye things, I was like, oh no. Disgusting.
Yeah.
Disgusting. Not actually knowing anything about the movie, I was initially surprised by how quickly the slasher was burning through them.
Then
immediately, about halfway through it, I was like, oh, this is going to be a Groundhog's Day, isn't it? Night 2. So the hourglass flips over. Did I mention that the hourglass flips as soon as Nina writes her name in the guest book?
I'm not sure.
Yeah. So when Nina writes her name in the guest book, the hourglass flips over and the sand starts running, and that's how long they've got till dawn.
Yeah.
Night 2. The hourglass flips over again, and everyone suddenly respawns in the same place they were when Nina signed the guest book. She has written her name a second time, slightly sloppier, and Abe is looking at the wall of flyers again. Max is pulling Clover back from the rain, etc., etc., etc. The front door starts slamming, so they barricade it. They initially guess that they might be in like a Groundhog's Day situation, but very quickly notice that things are different. For one, they all have their very own missing poster on the wall now. They also all show signs of wear on their bodies, like they're all bruised wherever their wherever their murder wound was. The car is back where it should be. There's also a new decrepit old house across the way with "Fuck the Glore Witch" spray painted on the door. So I guess we know who tonight's villain is.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I also find it really funny that apparently the start of all this nonsense was 1998, because it just feels so recent to me. A lot of times when you see movies like this where there's like a curse on the town, it's like from like the 1800s in the olden days. And now I like look back on like the movies that I would watch from the 80s and shit, and it'd be like a curse from the 40s, and I'm like, that was so long ago. Yeah. And now I'm like, oh, that wasn't that long ago, and I feel really goddamn old now. But yeah, so Megan's psychic abilities kick into high gear here, and she starts floating in front of the posters, channeling the various victims, leading to a fun group argument about how possession works, as if they would actually know anything about that. Yeah. I think the only person who would know anything about it is the one who is unconscious possessed.
She probably wouldn't know anything about it.
Yeah.
I doubt this has ever happened.
No, and despite her psychic capability, she does kind of seem very hippie-ish about, she seems a little granola-y.
Yeah, she's got a shelf of crystals at home.
Oh, for sure. For sure. But yeah, she screams, "Don't let them in," before her neck snaps and she just dies right there. The group then hears Melanie's voice outside of the door, and they fail to stop Clover from rushing out and being dragged away by an invisible force into the witch's house. After arguing with Abe and Nina, Max runs after her. Abe tries to flee with Nina, but a giant of some sort is blocking their path before the slasher villain manages to get them both. It drives me nuts that we never see this giant again.
Oh, yeah. It's weird.
It's another just, like, weird throwaway thing. Like, Like,
well, even the witch thing that's coming up, too. It's just like, okay. Yeah. And then there's a bunch of masks and nothing comes of that.
A little bit. The masks play a recurring thing. I mean, mostly the slasher wears them, but, Clover ends up wearing one at some point.
She puts one on once we get to the witch.
Yeah.
But other than that...
So Clover wakes up in the house and finds the Glore Witch, a creepy old lady with an oxygen tank who tells her that the only way to escape is to survive until dawn or become part of the night.
She seems like she's not a bad guy.
And she seems like it at this point.
No, she told them how to get out.
Yeah.
Told them what to do.
I mean, before attacking Clover.
Well, you're in her house.
True.
Get out of her house.
Well, yeah, but Clover didn't, walk in.
She was going to.
She got pulled in.
She was going in there either way.
They had the doorway barricaded. She was only checking to find her sister on the porch.
Yeah, she was gonna go in there anyways. But either way, I'm I just don't understand why this creature that's supposed to be trying to kill her is like, hey, this is what you got to do.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that I don't know, man. There is a thin explanation given near the end of the movie.
I mean, it doesn't explain anything.
It doesn't, and I don't buy it.
Yeah.
The witch attacks her and possesses her. Also, so now we do have one character who should understand how possession works. Max goes into the house to look for Clover. He finds a creepy clown doll sitting in a rocking chair that is, of course, rocking by itself. And then it is attacked by a possessed and newly bemasked Clover. She walks out of the shack wearing her mask, looking like she's still ready to do some more killing before the slasher runs over her in Abe's car. Which, pretty funny.
Yeah.
I have a lot of complaints about this movie, but the kills are good and there's some funny moments.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah, it's got its fun moments. Night 3. The group respawns again and immediately locks themselves in the bathroom. They make it through. This is my favorite part. They make it through most of the night, but eventually they drink some water from the tap, which turns out to be a big mistake, as one by one, they all explode.
Which is just such a weird thing to add in, because this isn't in the game.
Right.
It's just there for later, because they didn't know how else to end the goddamn movie.
I mean, it is definitely Chekhov's exploding water.
Yeah.
Clover is the last to die, but as she does, she sees the gas station attendant come in and tell her that she can't survive by sitting still. Which, bullshit, judging from this night, I think they could. So this scene to me was very funny, and I liked it for that reason. Because,
I wouldn't drink the water from there either.
No. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
The bacteria that's got to be sitting in those pipes.
Yeah.
If water comes out black when you turn it on, don't drink it.
No.
Don't drink it.
At least the lamb's up in there.
Ooh. Feel free to Google that one, folks. But yeah, so I do like it because it's funny. It is it's really absurd and does catch you totally off guard.
Yeah.
Because you're kind of expecting the water to be like poison, and maybe there'll be this drawn out thing where, once Abe starts like choking, you're like, oh shit, he's going to be poisoned.
Well, there's like a delayed reaction too for some people.
Yeah. Well, and Megan, it's one thing that I do find funny. There is this running gag, I think, and I do think it's actually supposed to be a running gag where Megan always gets it the worst. And in this case, everybody else just pops like a balloon.
Her leg
blows up, and then her stomach pops, and she's still alive, and then her head pops.
Yeah.
Like, she gets this slow, bubble wrap effect going with her. and that is, to me, hilarious, whereas everybody else just bursts.
Yeah.
This, in my opinion, opens up this huge plot hole because they were only like a few minutes, maybe in a few seconds away from making it till dawn. That hourglass they show was almost out, and the doctor even comments on it. So like night 4, you know what you should do? Same thing.
Hunker down.
Don't drink the water. You're not going to die from not drinking the water. So in one sense, I thought this scene was really funny, but it also annoyed the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Because I was like, well, now you have the key. Just do it.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us here at the Streaming Screams podcast. Please follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Threads, and YouTube at Streaming Screams Pod.
You can also find us on TikTok and Blue Sky at Screams Pod.
Every follow, like, thumb, rating, review, subscription, and share all help us out a lot with all the algorithm shit.
So if you like what we're doing, please rate us wherever you get your podcasts, like our posts, all that other good internet bullshit. And again, thank you for listening to
the Streaming Screams Podcast.
Night 4. So the group notices that their bodies are starting to change. Hair is falling out, new teeth are coming in, things like that. They head down to the basement to look for clues, where they find VHS tapes and ID cards showing them that the gas station attendant is actually Dr. Hill, and he is experimenting on people using the death and respawn loop that's going on in the town. As each night goes on, the victim transforms a little bit more until they become a Wendigo, and this does not match one fucking bit with the game. So first off, I hate when movies use Wendigo.
Sure.
It is, I feel, or actually just media as a whole, I feel like it's always used as this, it's never well defined what a Wendigo is. It seems to change from like movie to book to whatever.
Sure.
And it always, usage of the Wendigo just always strikes me as somebody being like, let's work some Native American mysticism into this, and we won't bother to actually respect the actual legend.
Yeah.
Because fuck it, right? So it drives me nuts.
I don't even think they bring up anything about Native Americans in this.
They don't.
Yeah. They just use the word.
The game does.
Yeah.
But yeah, they just in the game it's cannibalism, and that is sort of the most common usage of Wendigo is somebody participates in cannibalism and then they are either possessed by the Wendigo or become a Wendigo or something like that. I've seen other usages for it though. I remember reading Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark as a kid, and there was a Wendigo story that was basically just somebody running until they turned into ash, which I guess goes with an insatiable need to do something that isn't cannibalism.
Sure.
But I think that movie Ravenous involved the Wendigo as just like,
I don't know. I haven't seen it in a while.
Yeah. Like I think the dude gets like blood that drips in his mouth when he's laying on the bottom of the body pile, and then he's like, I gotta eat people now because I'm the Wendigo.
Oh, I don't remember him saying he's a Wendigo, but he probably does.
Yeah, and then Antlers used the Wendigo, and
that was such a disappointing movie.
That was one of the most disappointing movies I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It looked so good and was such mediocrity.
It got delayed a bunch, and that's always not a good sign.
Yeah, but man, I tell you what, if I ever make a film and I need a somebody to cut a good trailer for it, I'm going to the advertising team that did Wendigo, because they made that movie look...
Antlers.
Sorry, Antlers. They made that movie look excellent, and it was not.
Yeah.
It was incredibly mediocre.
Yeah.
I don't even want to do it on this show, because I don't think we could... I think it would be a boring episode. There's not even anything we can make fun of or bitch about it, like with, Death Rider and the House of Vampires.
Right.
It's just mediocre. As each night goes on, the victims transform a bit more until they become Wendigo. That is the basis for this experiment Dr. Hill is running. Hill then starts talking to them through the radio and tells them that 4 of them can live if one of them dies. And also that
But also why?
I don't fucking know. Again, things that don't get explained here.
Yeah.
And this is also where Abe kind of shows his... I don't know how much he sucks as a character, because he's basically like, great, let Clover die.
Yeah, sure.
And she's he's such a dick about it. And for some people, this would actually probably be a really upsetting scene, because he's just like, whatever, she's already tried to kill herself twice. Let her have what she wants.
Sure.
What a slimy piece of shit. You could really look at him as being a coward, or you could look at him as being pragmatic, but he's really risk averse. And if there's a chance that he can escape and somebody else is going to die, he's kind of fine with that.
Yeah.
He's one of those, I'll feel bad about it later, but I got to live to feel bad about it kind of guys.
Yeah. But also just sacrificing somebody doesn't mean the rest of you are going to survive.
There's no reason to believe Dr. Hill.
Yeah. Because why? I just don't understand why one person has to die.
I don't either. And they never explain it, and it vaguely plays into the end.
Yeah.
But I think the rules early on very clearly established, survive till dawn.
Yeah.
There's an hourglass.
Yeah.
That turns at the respawn point.
Yeah.
Like that's the save point. Make it to the end of the timer and you're good. Why does somebody have to die? I think Hill's full of shit.
Yeah.
And I don't think they should trust him. And most of them don't. So this, of course, gets the group fighting, mostly Abe versus everyone else, while Clover runs out into the woods and gets caught by a bear trap. Also, Max goes running after her, because Max always runs after her. To which Nina and Abe are like, she's not going to take you back. And he's like, fuck you guys. So
she's not going to fuck you, bro.
Presumably at their age, they already have. So whatever. But, but no, and yes, he obviously does still pine for her, but there is also every possibility that this is just him being like a decent friend. I would run after any one of my friends in the same situation. Sure. I say from the comfort of my recording studio and not from the middle of a cursed town.
Yeah.
So yeah, Max goes after her, and in the meantime, Nina actually kills Abe, because fuck that guy. He has just been...
Well, she's like, we're gonna reset anyways.
Yeah. But she has totally been like, he has just crossed that line, and she's okay with just taking him out now. Max finds Clover and gets the bear trap off of her leg. And this is also one of my favorite moments of this movie. Mm-hmm. Wendigo-possessed Melanie attacks them, or I guess just Wendigo Melanie.
Yeah.
Wendigo Melanie attacks them, and he just takes that bear trap and holds it up and lets her run face first into it. And it's pretty great.
It's very funny.
It is pretty great. For all of this movie's flaws, it has just these moments that I love. At her request, Max kills Clover and drinks some water that's dripping down from a pipe before exploding. And in the meantime, the slasher shows up and finishes off Nina and what's his bucket? Abe. Yeah. Night 13! And yes, you might be noticing we're missing a few here.
I thought it was a weird jump.
It's an incredibly weird jump.
Yeah.
And it's handled in this dumb, clunky fashion. I don't like it.
Also, okay, I know you're going to say, but in 12 tries, they didn't think to go back down into the basement?
Apparently not. In 12 tries, they didn't...
It just seems crazy to me. That it's like there's a whole nother area where it's like, oh, it looks like it's buried underground because there's windows and stuff. And they're like, we're not going to go look at that again.
Oh, well, I think night 3 or 4, whatever night that they were initially down there, they do open the front door and it goes to a mine shaft. And they're like,
no.
And they're like, nope.
Yeah, but you think after 10 more times?
Yeah, eventually I'm going to... Well, I think they might have actually gone in there, because we do get some found footage that looks like it's in the mine shaft.
So,
but maybe not.
Yeah.
I don't know. Once again, nothing is explained.
They bring it up like it's like, oh yeah.
Yeah. So we do find that... So this is their final respawn, and everyone is a mess. Their bodies are changing. Their hair's falling out. They're like
Which is also
up.
weird, because it's 13 days and they say say, oh, nobody has made it past 13 according to like the scribbly book. Mm-hmm. But then in the video where they explain the Wendigo, he says nobody has made it past 11 days.
So far in his experiments, and that's the only excuse I'm going to give it.
I guess, but it's like, why, again, make a distinction?
Also, 13, come on.
Yeah.
So many tropes and so many cliches in this movie. So yeah, everyone's a mess. Their bodies are changing, and they all have lost a bunch of their memories. Most of them are shocked are basically as shocked as we are at this time jump. Fortunately, Abe figures out that he has probably been recording things on his phone.
Like, why? Again, why?
People do that.
He wasn't. I know, but he wasn't recording in the when we saw him earlier.
Oh, he was.
He was.
This was actually the one thing that they set up really well.
Okay.
He immediately starts recording everything.
Oh, okay. Okay.
He tends to put the phone away when there's actual action going on. So but yes, he constantly has his phone out. So what they do here is basically he pulls out his phone and we get a montage of a bunch of death scenes from the other nights.
Yeah.
And I really wish they had done these. Like shown more of these nights.
Sure. Because it's also some of them though, like the CGI is just so bad.
Oh yeah.
When
totally.
they have the worm coming out of her face.
Yeah.
I'm just like, and they put that in the trailer and I was like, it looks awful.
Didn't the trailer feature a whole bunch of the found footage stuff?
Yeah, I think so.
And so here's my theory. I feel like they basically just created all these deaths for the trailer specifically. And we're like, how can we work them into the movie?
Yeah.
We'll do the old 1-2 skip a few and just do a montage.
Yeah.
Where all of these deaths, get worked in there. And it is a shame because to me, the deaths are easily the high point of this movie.
Well, originally it was said that it was supposed to be every time the time loop happens, it was supposed to be a different horror genre. Which that would have been more interesting.
Would have been great.
Yeah. Because I already complained that the Wendigos are too much just like zombies.
They're just fast, extra ugly zombies.
Yeah. This
is one of those movies that really pisses me off. It's my least favorite kind of movie, which is where I can see a bunch of potential for a really good one, and none of it gets used.
Yeah.
I love that idea of having every night be a different genre.
Sure.
And we get that a little bit with those first 3 nights.
I don't feel like they're different genres at all.
But not enough. The first one we get slasher. Second one we get witch. It's not
even really a witch though. It's just an old lady.
Yeah.
What does she do that's witchy?
But we at least get some. Well, she yanks Clover through the air into her house, and then she possesses Clover using her oxygen tank, and then she crumbles into dust. But yeah, no, I can see the genesis of this idea.
Yeah.
It just doesn't get fleshed out. I feel like there's a lot of good ideas that just were executed for shit.
Yeah.
And everything would have been better probably if they hadn't tied it into the video game.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, again,
because I didn't play the game.
I didn't play the game, so that's why I say probably. But yeah, I think that there was a lot they could have done with this movie that they did not do. So yeah. So after the montage, they all realize that Megan is missing, and Clover goes on the hunt to help her, but also find Dr. Hill. Or I guess they all do. They arm themselves and venture into the mines to make their way to Dr. Hill's sanitarium. Of course, they are all attacked and separated by the slasher and the Wendigos. Clover finds Wendigo Melanie and kills her by impaling her on a stake sticking up from the ground. And this also irritates me because we just watched this montage of found footage, which shows Max fruitlessly trying to stab one of the Wendigos to death over and over and over and over and over, and it just will not die. Why is this one stake able to do it? He stabbed this other fucking Wendigo's head into pulp, and it's still chomping at him.
The power of love.
Ugh, the worst thing in any movie. The power of love. So not only do we not get consistent rules for the Wendigos between the movie and the game, but now we don't even get consistent rules for the Wendigo in the same movie.
Yeah.
She then finds Megan captive in this room with a chained up Wendigo that is just out of arm's reach for some reason. Really cheesy nonsense.
Yeah.
Again, dumb tropes.
Yeah.
That this movie just has to have. So she goes looking for a key to unlock the room. Don't smash the window. Just look for a key. Unlock the room.
Yeah.
And she finds Dr. Hill's office, and he's just hanging out there drinking some coffee. And here we get the comic book villain exposition dump about how everything that's happening to them is basically a manifestation of her own trauma and mental health issues. And this is that thin explanation that we get for everything.
Yeah, because it's like, what do these things represent?
I don't know. And I mean, he says them, but it's like, I don't even remember what they are because I didn't bother to write them down, and none of them seem to make that much sense.
Yeah.
Except maybe like, what was it? The masked killer is a really common fear, so everybody gets the masked killer. You know,
lame.
I forget what he says about the witch. He does mention spontaneous combustion is obviously related to her self-destructive tendencies, which is very funny because he apparently misses why the combustion happens.
But also, why is it only manifesting her things and not everybody else's?
Katie and I literally had not like an argument, but like a heated discussion about this last night because that doesn't make any sense. Maybe because she's got the most emotional baggage and the most trauma, so it's like it's feeding off of her as the most extreme person. I would have thought that it would be feeding off of Nina since she's the one that locked them all into this mess. You know? By writing her name in the guest book.
Yeah, for sure.
So, I don't know. Once again, logic, who needs that? Consistency, we don't need that shit.
Yeah. And was this guy just work part-time at the gas station in between his, doctor gig?
Yeah, yes. So I think that he literally works at the gas station just so he can direct people to this town so he can experiment on them, which is ridiculous. Absolutely absurd. So anyway, while he's doing his mustache twirling routine, which involves, again, this ridiculous trope that they always do, where the villain turns their back dramatically during the explanation and monologues at a wall for some reason. Sure. And while he's doing that, she gets his coffee and sticks it under one of the dripping pipes so it gets a few drops of the death water in there, and then puts it back in its spot. So he drinks the coffee and then blows up. Yeah. Which...
All right. Problem solved. It's like they literally just did this water thing just because they were like, how are we going to end this?
and again, like I said, in my opinion, it opens up the biggest plot hole in the fucking movie. Just do it again and don't drink the water. Barricade everything. Sit there. Don't drink the water. Not hard. Not hard. Yeah, so Clover takes his keys and uses them to rescue Megan just in time. Nina and Abe, I forget what they were doing. They squished someone's head. They squished someone to go's head, and they managed to escape. So Clover and Megan start digging themselves out of the ground, and then they are pulled out by Abe, Nina, and Max, who just happened to be right there, even though I'm fairly certain they were in a totally different area when they did escape. And then we see the sands in the hourglass run out. They have survived the curse, so they get in the car and they drive away. And as the movie ends, we see some monitors we see the TV monitors that were in Dr. Hill's office. We hear him whistling even though he's blown up. And we see a car arriving at a lodge in the snow, which is, I guess, supposed to be the lead into the game.
Yeah.
Absurd.
Where does this time loop come from?
Apparently, this was basically explained in a deleted alternate ending.
Oh.
Which I did watch. So in this alternate ending, Clover does not find Megan chained up in the sanitarium. She finds her on an altar to be sacrificed.
Okay.
And when she starts rescuing her, Megan explains that, God, we didn't even touch on this part of the plot because it doesn't matter that much. But so the whole thing about the town being missing
the mine.
Is that a mine collapsed, the entire town fell in, most of the people died, everybody who was left was cursed, and all the visitors end up cursed.
Okay.
So, and that's why the basement has windows and why there's a doorway leading to a mine shaft. It's because that used to be the first floor. It seems so irrelevant.
It's because it's relevant to the game.
Sure. But in a dumb way.
Yeah.
But with regards to the movie, yes, it explains some of the mystery, but they do so little with it that I forgot to put it in the recap.
Yeah.
So anyway, so the whole idea, as Megan explains it when she is rescued from the altar, is that the miners got too greedy, they dug too deep, dug under too much of the town, and they awakened some ancient gods who cursed everybody. That's the explanation.
Sure.
So, That's it. And then after that explanation, it's kind of a fairly similar ending to the rest. So it was a dumb trope anyway, and then they cut it out, just making everything make zero sense. And I guess we're just supposed to go off the idea that, like, this is a cursed town.
All right, sure.
Vaguely.
Seems like there should have been miners as enemies.
So I think the Wendigos that they encounter are supposed to be the survivors and visitors that come later.
Yeah, I know the visitors. Yeah.
It sounds, because the doctor was brought in to help the survivors deal with their grief, and I guess the idea is just that he's supposed to have started experimenting on them. Again, another one of these things where like we really could have used an explanation for any of this. And you know it's bad when Mr. Don't Explain Shit in Horror Movies is like, hey, can you fill in some of these gaps? Yeah. It's such a ridiculous movie. Yeah. And it's the kind of movie that pisses me off the most because, like, there's so many ideas that could have been good and they just weren't. Yeah. Jessica, how did you like this movie?
That's whatever.
Yeah. It's a damn shame. Yeah. It's not so bad. It's not so bad that you can laugh at it.
No. I'd rather watch a bad movie than watch this.
Yeah. It's just, it's mediocre, which is the worst. Who would you recommend it for?
I don't know. I guess if you really like the game and want to be disappointed.
I could see myself putting this on in the background on silent at like a Halloween party. Yeah, it's got, I guess. Probably not, but it's got enough spooky-ish imagery that you can just let it play on a wall and it's probably fine. You know, you've got the slasher, you've got the creepy old lady. Sure. You know, you've got all the Wendigo beasts and this giant that is never mentioned again.
Yeah, he just shows up for a second.
Yeah, and then people randomly blowing up, which is always a good time. Other than that, though, I don't know that I would really recommend it for anyone. I guess the kills are fun. And if you really want to watch a movie that's got a few fun kills and you want to be, and you don't give a shit about literally anything else, and you're probably going to be bullshitting with people, which I guess is all basically the same point that I made about putting it on at like a Halloween party. Yeah. Other than that, yeah, it's a dumb movie. And what's really funny is that watching it the first time, I was like, yeah, it's fine, dumb fun. It's got some good kills, and that's like all I thought about it. Yeah. And then watching it the second time, I was like, this is really boring. Yeah. And like as even though the kills can be really fun, they don't make up enough of a percentage of the movie to like validate watching it. So I would say probably don't if you actually want to watch a movie. If you want to put on something with spooky imagery, go for it. Yeah. But that's it. Wendigos, man. People got to stop using the Wendigo. Just don't. You're not going to get it right. You're not going to do it in a way that's respectful to Native American culture. I don't even, I mean, I guess unless you are a Native American making a horror movie that is based on actual folklore, in which case I would fucking love to see that. Yeah. But other than that, if your name is Sandberg, don't. Right? Sure. Yeah, I am actually. I am kind of interested in playing the game.
Yeah, I told Craven to load it on our PlayStation because we have it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because Lucian plays these games.
Oh, yeah.
I think there's a second one. I'm not even sure.
Yeah, I am kind of curious about it. The game sounds a lot better than the movie. Yeah. It would be fun to play a game where your decisions actually matter. And that's what I hear is the actual selling point, is your decisions really do matter.
Yeah. There was a game called Heavy Rain that did it.
Yeah, I always wanted to play that too. I really do love like Cyberpunk 2077. But there were two things that really disappointed me about it. One was that you can't do wall running with mantis arms, which they showed in the initial trailers that you could, but they took that out. But the other was that they made this big promise that all of your decisions were going to matter, and they really don't. Like there's a couple, I think there's like 4 or 5 different endings, and there's a couple paths that you can use to get there, but overall, you're playing the same game either way. Great game. I mean, I love it, but it's one of those things where they really oversold it and oversold what it was supposed to be and overpromised. And if they hadn't done that, I think that the game would have been looked on a lot friendlier. Well, that and if they had finished it instead of putting out a buggy mess. It's Wendigo time. Jessica, play us out.
You don't have to make a movie out of a video game just 'cause it's popular.
Yeah. Was it a popular game?
Yeah. Okay. Oh, very popular. Oh, really?